Angeline Ong, and welcome to Beat the Street, the show that gives you all the tradable news you need ahead of the Wall Street Open. Coming up, US stocks in focus as the S&P 500 edged up to another record high. Intel and Visa earnings also on deck. Tesla shares indicated even lower after Musk warns of slow sales growth ahead. And IBM shares indicated higher on its revenue beat and solid forecasts. Good afternoon, a warm welcome to you. I'm Angeline Ong, and this is the new edition of Beat the Street. Not long now before Wall Street starts trading, we have got some breaking news through as well. ECB, as expected, keeping rates unchanged, not even a hint of rate cuts. Here to talk about this is Chris Beecham, who's been writing about this in the weeks prior to this ECB decision. Not much said about inflation there from the ECB.
No, not really. And as expected, the major central banks, they're the ones that really have been keen to say, no, we're still determined to fight inflation hard. Others have given the hints that maybe something's coming, especially the Fed, but no, the ECB very much, we will keep leaving policy at restrictive levels. Not much of a response, though, from the euro. I think there's a lot of concern that maybe this is beginning to feed through into sort of weaker outlook for the Eurozone economy. Of course, you had that abysmal German IFO data this morning. You get German GDP next week, and that's not supposed to be pretty either. So a tough outlook for longs in euro-dollar, I suspect, in the short term.
Now, we've also got a spate of US data out. The US economy has been resilient, unbelievably resilient, actually, underpinning the stock market moves there. GDP deflator, GDP advance numbers, they're all coming in slightly better than expected. The core PCE bang in line with expectations, 2%. Just checking in on initial jobless claims as well. Expected 214K. We had a surprise of 14K. Actually, the actual was 214. We were looking at for 200K. What does this all say to you? Does this look like the possibility of a soft landing can be achieved?
Yes, I know we've debated this one before, and with Axel was always being a bit more cautious, but I still think the Fed is on course for a soft landing. The big thing is going to be if this does turn south in the next few months, will they respond very quickly? Some Fed members have been more prepared to say, look, policy needs to be eased gently, I think, and they're probably right in that sense, but not as quickly as markets think. And as we sit close to record highs for indices, that's where I expect the volatility will come from.
Thanks very much, Chris. Chris Beecham there from IG. Now, ahead of those numbers, IG's Axel Rudolph has been indeed looking at the Dow for us and looking at consolidation in the Dow.
Well, today I thought I'd have a look at the Dow Jones Industrial Average. As you can see here, it's risen very nicely since October of last year, made a new all-time record high earlier on Monday, but has been consolidating since, whereas the S&P 500 and the Nasdaq 100 have continued to make new all-time record highs. And what we can see here is a retest of previous highs, which because of inverse polarity now act as support. We saw that on Tuesday and Wednesday. And basically, this support area going down to yesterday's low at 37,776 is key short term, because as long as we hold above there, it's likely that we're going to retest the current all-time record high at 38,109, a rise above which could then take us towards the 38,500 area. But if we were to slide, and it may well happen, I mean, we've got Boeing results out later on today, and obviously with the issues Boeing is facing at the moment with regards to the quality of some of its planes, we may see a slip also with the regards to the Dow Jones Industrial Average to below that support level just mentioned at 37,776. If that were to happen, we could actually retest the 20th of December high at 37,642. But from a medium to long-term perspective, as long as we stay below the late December, the January lows, which go down to 37,025 or so, the uptrend is still very much intact.
Axel there talking the Dow and why the uptrend is still intact. Just wanting to show you the S&P 500 because the S&P 500 climbed to its fourth straight record high close on Wednesday. Volumes still high. They're also checking in on Tesla for you because I can tell you that Tesla very popular amongst our clients and is all sessions. So you can trade this before the cash session opens. Tesla's shares currently on the IG platform down around 3%. This is after investors were taken aback by the group's forecasts On an adjusted basis, Tesla earned 71 cents per share in the fourth quarter, missing an average estimate from analysts of 73 cents. Revenue rose 3%, its slowest pace of growth in more than 3 years. This was also lower than expected. Another one that we are keeping an eye on for you, IBM, also all sessions on the IG platform, currently down 1.5% earnings there, coming in at $3.87 a share. 10 cents higher than forecast. IBM also forecast full-year revenue growth above market expectations. Company expecting 2024 revenue to grow between 4 and 6%. Currently, IBM shares down 1.4% on the IG platform. Disney shares also indicated to open lower as its Indian unit has received a lower than expected valuation. IGTV's Jeremy Naylor explains.
Yes, Walt Disney's India unit is being valued at less than half of what it had hoped for in a proposed merger with the Indian billionaire Mukesh Ambani's media empire. Now, Bloomberg says that this reflects the struggle global media giants face in India, which is one of the world's fastest growing entertainment markets. After weeks of negotiations, Ambani's Reliance Industries is to merge their entertainment business with Disney, and Disney's India assets are the subject of that merger, and they're being valued now at around about $4.5 billion, less than the $10 billion the US entertainment giant had previously been asking for. The tie-up is said to be more likely given that there's been a collapse of Sony's $10 billion merger with Z Entertainment, which paves the way for the Disney deal. But nonetheless, it's a blow to investors. Disney's share price has already lost 50% of the value since the highs we saw back in March 2021. The stock is down today for a third day in a row. All sessions on the IG platform indicating a lower start to trade when things get underway in around about an hour's time on the US exchange. So it's just a question now of whether or not Disney investors are willing to swallow this big devaluation in what it had hoped for its Indian business. Back to you.
Thanks, Jerry. Now, another 3 all-session stocks due to report. We've got Intel, just showing you the chart now for the expectations. We've got Visa as well. And in terms of what's expected, here you go. Here's the animation for you. American Airlines just slipping out as we speak. The company forecasting 2024 profit largely above Wall Street expectations. Just showing you the chart here for our clients who trade all sessions. American Airlines currently up more than 4%. Now, before we go, just a quick reminder, no change as expected from the ECB. That's it for this edition of Beat the Street, the show that follows all the trading action, helping you position yourself ahead of the opening bell. This is IGTV.